Hello, guys. I am Shane Davis, 20-year comic book veteran. I'm here with Yanzi Lynn, and today is the day we're talking a little bit more about the state of DC Comics and basically DC films going forward, as a lot of chatter is going around like now. Zaslav came in. He's wanting to cut cost. He went from 3 to 3.5, and a lot of things were shaking up in Hollywood. Black Adam, a lot of things. Let's get into it. Again, Henry Cavill coming back as Superman. But before we get into it, please hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and help this channel out. Now, what do we got here?
Well, we have David Ayer himself saying, #release the Ayer cut. So for people who do not remember, this is actually in reference to the whole release the Snyder cut hashtag movement. So now I guess he's trying to get people to rally behind that in a way to say, okay, well, Zack Snyder managed to get his vision restored. Let's get my director's vision restored. Now, let me just mention this because I may be showing my age over here, but traditionally, with all this Ayer cut, Snyder cut rubbish, it was called a director's cut. And traditionally, a director's cut is only released if, say, the original movie was considered a big commercial hit. So they would know, oh, then there'll be fans who want to pick it up and spend money on this release. Now, maybe streaming has changed the cost of it. It's still, I guess it's doable, a little bit cheaper to release that cut. But at the same time, it's like, well, I don't know. Why are we making all these extra cuts for films that just didn't do very well?
Well, the films basically end up with like scenes, of course, that don't make it in the film. A lot of times they're there, and I feel like a lot of movies have over-recorded, not because they expect a longer edition or a special edition with an extra 10-minute footage, but for DVD extras, like a lot of deleted scenes. You know, if you go through like the main menu or special features of your favorite movies, you'll notice that. So like these scenes usually just exist in every film. Now, does it expect a certain cut? Basically trying to run this up the flagpole when the Snyder Bros came out and the Snyder Cut thing was a thing. When that hashtag started, he was quickly there demanding this for himself. The difference, if I had to say, between the two is one was a bunch of bots and one was a director just trying to see if people would take hold of the hashtag. You probably didn't understand you need to go buy a bunch of bots. This seems like deja vu in a weird way because you know, AT&T had bought DC Comics, and that started the Snyderverse thing. And they thought at the time, AT&T will obviously will sink just a little bit of money in this, and we'll get it right this time, and we'll stretch it out in length, and it will be a big thing for our new platform on HBO Max. Now, obviously, that didn't pan out too well. Some people say the movie's a little bit better, whatever. But I don't think they had the return they expected in it. And you really shouldn't expect like an old movie to seem like a brand new feature, which is what AT&T was expecting. Now, what is different here and why I say this is like deja vu is because basically now Discovery has bought this company, and they have found James Gunn, who's supposed to be in place, be like the Kevin Feige for the DCU films. And obviously somebody's like, hey, what if you do the same horrible mistake AT&T did before, and you take an old movie and polish it around a little bit, maybe get some cast to come back in and refilm some scenes. But you basically end up with like trying to sell old rope and expecting a different result. People have seen the Suicide Squad movie. What Hollywood doesn't realize is people want to see something new. So what do we got here?
James Gunn, I guess, is replying to that tweet, and he says, opened up Twitter at the end of a long creative weekend to see the many tweets to hashtag Save Legends of Tomorrow and hashtag Release the Ayer Cut and fan support for other DC projects over the years. The majority of these requests were enthusiastic and respectful. So nice contrast over there to, of course, the hashtag Restore the Snyderverse people. As the new and first ever CEOs of DC Studios, Peter and I think it's important we acknowledge you, the fans, and let you know we hear you with different desires for the pathway forward for DC. So it's like, we are listening and open to everything as we embark on this journey, and we'll continue to do so for the next 2 years. So this is very important. He emphasized repeatedly that he's listening. But all our initial focus is on the story going forward, hammering out the new DCU and telling the biggest story ever across multiple films, television shows, and animated projects. So there you go, people. No Ayer Cut, no Restore the Legends of Tomorrow. They're not going to bring back the Batgirl movie. They're pretty much having this plan to go forward and create their own vision of the DCU, probably a more coherent one now. So we know for sure, though, that they have brought back Henry Cavill to be Superman. I guess because they think that he's going to be a great Superman for at least now 10 years maybe or so. You're going to need him to reprise his role and play a couple more films before you say, see ya, Henry. So,
yeah.
But it sounds like basically they're discarding the old DCU here and they're planning this whole new thing going forward. Now, what does that mean? Maybe, that's why keeping that whole Flash movie was so important to all the honchos, despite all of Ezra Miller's crime spree doings and stuff, because his was the path forward, being that he introduces the multiverse into the whole DCU.
Which is funny because that's exactly the opposite of what Zaslav wants. He wants like a more coherent, like one condensed, consolidated DC universe. Because of all the TV stuff, you end up with multiple versions of these characters. And one could argue that you can basically end up like diluting your overall product or brand. Now, with that said, they desperately do need the multiverse to segue into the version that Discovery wants to go forward with. Now, can James Gunn cobble that vision together and accommodate fans and Zaslav at the same time? And that's basically where we're at with DC film.
Well, one big problem though is DC. Whatever is happening with DC is going to be affected by what happens to Warner Brothers Discovery, which is the new company they're under. So remember at the beginning, after they first merged, they were like, okay, we need to find $3 billion in synergies, which means we can find a way to cut $3 billion off our budget every year. Now, obviously, they did not meet that target, and they have increased the target to $3.5 billion. I'm not sure if that is going to end up spooking investors a lot, but yeah, their stocks pretty much tanked when they underperformed at their last quarterly report.
Right. So what this looks like is maybe they're going into a new direction where they're not trying to, pursue woke type films with the DC brand that don't have a cash return, and this is going to be a bigger and bigger issue going forward. So anyways, guys, if you guys will, please look down below, hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notification. And also, Inglorious Rex is up and funding first week $130,000 on our third Indiegogo campaign, 2 fulfilled. Please go over, look down below. You'll see the link to that. Go over there, scroll this campaign. We have volume 1 in tiers with this. So you can get all caught up with Inglorious Rex if you missed the first campaign. And we will leave you guys with a trailer for this smash hit, and no pun intended, smash hit, Inglorious Rex.
Guess who stepped on the scene? I got greatness all in my jeans. Ain't no way that I can slow down. I'm laced up, look how I shake the ground. Can't touch the crown, but you can kiss the ring. Close your eyes and see how I live a dream. I'm too smooth, MJ with the lean. Don't be fooled, I came through with the team. This is over their heads, how high can it go? I'm too over the edge, got my eyes on the goal. And we right back at it, keep them right on their toes. Look at the way that I move, this is all that I know. Cause I got the drive, I put it in gear. Line them up, I don't see no competitors here. If it ain't first place, we really can't settle for it. Listen up, listen up. Get ready for